Hey friends, how's it going? I have been promising you a little video showing you my process for getting ready for showing, and today is that day. We have actually primarily focused on open houses and haven't had as many like individual showings, but we did have one last week. And so as I was getting ready, I filmed the whole process, walked you through what it looks like. It's nothing revolutionary or exciting, but if you've ever been curious what it looks like, today is your day. This video starts about an hour and a half before people were supposed to arrive for the showing, and then walks you all the way to see what I do to keep myself busy while they're here. So enjoy. When I'm prepping the house for a showing, the first thing that I like to do is start in the rooms I don't need to use for a little bit. Since we have multiple bathrooms, I usually choose one and tell the family that it is shut down. So today we started with the master bathroom, and I just go through and give it a quick clean, wipe down all of the counters, make sure everything is looking nice and neat. I also always take a minute to put away things like any medicine that I have sitting out on the counter or anything that might look a little too personal. Starting with a room that you can shut down is definitely the best tip that I have whenever it comes to prepping for showings, because it allows you to start a little bit earlier than you would if you were starting in the rooms that you're still using. So from top to bottom, start to finish, I got the bathroom completely clean. Also got a little bit distracted cleaning up my plants. But basically the idea is once this space is done, I'm not going to enter it again until the showing is over. I think for me, the hardest part of keeping our house clean for any showing ever is dealing with the floors. I don't know if this is true in your house, but it feels like my floors are always covered in dog hair or dirt or footprints or paw prints or something, and no matter how regularly I vacuum and mop them, they end up looking terrible in just a few minutes. So it's safe to say that the majority of my time whenever I'm getting ready for a showing is spent vacuuming and mopping and vacuuming and mopping the entire house on repeat forever until I feel like I want to cry. But at this point in the process, I was still about an hour away from the showing, so I couldn't really do more than my bathroom and the little hallway in my bedroom. Next, I headed upstairs. This is the next place that I really like to shut down because it's really easy to just tell the family, you can't go upstairs, you have to stay downstairs. When it comes to the kids' rooms and making sure that they're ready for showings, this is always a challenge for me. We depersonalize the kids' rooms a small amount, but it's really important to me that the kids still feel at home in our house while we're getting ready to sell it. So there's still some toys out. It still looks like a kid's room. I make sure that it's picked up and looking neat, but in the end, it's a kid's room, and I hope that people are able to understand that. As you can see, Grant hid some of his clothes in his bed when he was making it, so that was really fun to deal with. He still can't hang up his clothes on his own, so as much as he is good at cleaning up his room, I still have to do this piece for him. Once I got all of the picking up done upstairs and everything was in its place, it was time to, you guessed it, vacuum. I swear to you, this vacuum has seen more use in the last month or so than it has the entire time that we have lived here. But honestly, I can't complain too much because is anything better than the sight of those beautiful vacuum lines on the floor? I wish they would stay for more than 5 minutes at a time. Next up is cleaning the kids' bathroom. Always clean around every single toilet before every single showing because I have small boys and it is a necessity. And then back to vacuuming again. I just work my way all the way to the stairs and then all the way down the stairs and get everything done, and then basically just don't allow anyone else to go upstairs until the showing is finished. At this point in the process, the boys and my husband were out of the house for t-ball practice, and so I was able to actually start cleaning the rest of the house and really finishing things up. There's really no point in vacuuming or mopping while people are still here, so as much as I can, I like to kick them out before I get started. Anytime I'm cleaning the house or prepping for a showing, I kind of just start at the front of the house and work my way to the back, or vice versa. In this case, I started in the entry and was working my way all the way back to the kitchen. I guess this is one of those situations where I should be really grateful that I have both a vacuum and a mop that I really, really love, because this would be terrible if I didn't. I put a lot of effort right now into making sure that the house is picked up pretty much every single morning after the kids get to school, and then in the evenings after dinner. That ends up meaning that it is a lot easier to prep for showings like this because everything's pretty much always already picked up, and I do think that it is worth a full vacuum and a full mop before every single showing, because there is something about freshly mopped floors that makes the entire house feel so much cleaner and look so much nicer. So as annoying as it is, it's worth it. Take the time to do it every single time. I promise you won't regret it. It is 5:33, showing is at 6 p.m. I've got the kids and my husband out of the house. I've still got the dogs with me. And I just finished mopping and getting everything clean. So let me show you. I generally try to be out of the house no less than 10 minutes before a showing starts. Ideally, I like to be out around 15 minutes early, just in case anybody shows up early. So that gives me just over 10 minutes to do my last step. So let me show you what my last few minutes of getting out the door for a showing looks like. First up, I've got some papers to set out. I'm not gonna zoom in on them because they have address and stuff, but this is a cute little one that I made just with some details about our house that you might not see or know about if you aren't like in the know. Like, you know, you can walk to the park and there's a waterfall nearby. It gets really great natural light. You might not know that if you don't come during the day. So I included that in here. So we set all of that out on the island. There's also an inspection report, just a few other things. And then at this point, my next step would be to kick the dogs out so that I can finish. So let's do that. Outside. They will stay outside until we are done, and then I will take them through the gate to get out of the house. So let's do our final steps. This point in the process is when I go around with my handy dandy good smell and spray. I make sure everything smells nice and fresh, and I make sure every single light in the house, including all the lamps, is turned on. I do this no matter what time the showing is, but it is especially important at night when it's not gonna be as naturally light. So just a little spray. This is very subtle. It doesn't like make the room feel perfumey or intense, but it does like a really subtly nice smell. We have a doorbell cam, and I feel like almost every time people arrive, I hear the door open and then I hear them go, it smells good. So you might be a little nervous about room spray because sometimes it can be intense. This is the one. Get a really high quality one and just make sure that it is not gonna feel too perfumey, and you'll be fine. I'm very liberal with it, but it makes the house smell delicious. As I'm turning on lights, one thing I also always consider is I turn on lamps. I also turn on closet lights. Basically, the idea is, especially with the closet lights, you want to make it as simple as possible for people to see everything. And if they are like fumbling around for a light switch, then they're distracted, they might get frustrated, they might not pay attention. So I do close closet doors just because it looks a little nicer that way, but I make sure the lights are on if they have a light. I don't love overhead lights in a normal scenario. They actually make me nuts. But for a showing, gotta have them all, plus the blinds open. And a lot of room spray. This is a great time to make sure that we put this little pet gate away. I took this into the laundry room. As I'm taking things away, I am also kind of checking to see like, is anything out of place or like shouldn't be there. For example, I got some sunglasses. They don't need to be in here. I'm gonna toss one into my go basket that I'm bringing with me, but then the other pair we're gonna put away in the closet. Dogs are going crazy. They're really mad, but I've just finished turning on every light. I've just finished spraying my spraying the room spray all around the house. Things are smelling delicious. They're looking great. It is 5:40 on the dot. So we're gonna gather the dogs up, get them to the car. We're gonna get out of here. They're very, very amped up. Oh boy, oh boy. Good boy, good boy. Come on, this one will not jump in, so I gotta pick him up. Hold on. 5:44, just turned the car on. Let's get the car out of the driveway and take the dogs for a walk. If you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I will keep bringing all of the moving content your way, or like the trying to move content your way, because right now we're not moving. We're just trying to sell our house, and it's slow, and that's okay because sometimes things take time. So stick with me, kid. We're gonna have some fun. Let me know if there's any other moving content that you are dying to see.